Responsibly. Gamblingcare.ie.
You're welcome back. So Celtic on their way out of the Europa League. They had gone 2-0 up away at AC Milan, but they now trail by 3-2. 10 minutes left in that one. Spurs on the way to the last 32. They've come from behind to lead Lask 2-1 in Austria. And Leicester, they were already through. It's scoreless in their match against Zorya. It's an 8 o'clock kick-off for Dundalk's game in Molde. So we'll keep you up to date on that throughout the evening. It is 7:30 done. John Giles is on the line. Evening, John.
Evening, Nathan.
So speaking of European football, it was a big night for a young Irishman, Kelleher, thrown in at the deep end. Champions League debut for Liverpool and a clean sheet and some fine saves against Ajax. Living the dream.
Oh, definitely. And he looks the part, Nathan. Great temperament by the sound. I don't know the kid at all. I know he's a Cork lad. And apparently, reading the papers today, he used to be a very, very good outfield player. Yeah,
which obviously for the modern goalkeeper comes in quite handy.
Very handy. But the main thing is saving. And now he looked very, very confident, competent. He looked everything that you wanted a young keeper to come into a big match like that, Nathan. It looks great. It's great for us, great for himself, of course, and the family. Wish him all the best for the future.
It's a difficult situation for a young goalkeeper compared to any other position on the pitch because you're reliant on one other player being injured, and Liverpool have arguably the best goalkeeper in the world in Alisson. He's at a huge club. He already has a Premier League medal, a Champions League medal. If you were advising him at 22, would you say hang around Liverpool for as long as you can and hope the chance comes? Or do you actually just need to get out somewhere else and play football?
I'd say go out and loan, Nathan, and do what the young keeper did at Manchester United.
Dean Henderson.
Henderson, you know,
United, yeah.
Like he's gone back now and he's out of the team again. But I think at some stage, well, at any stage, you need experience. And I think it's okay playing in the reserves for a certain period of time, even for an outfield player. But particularly goalkeepers, Nathan, they need to be in the big crowd, in the big games, when they're good enough to do it. And he's obviously good enough to do it. So I think the best thing, if I was giving him any advice, I would say try to get out and loan and do what Henderson did at Manchester United.
As you say, he didn't look nervous. Look, he played in League Cup games before, and he's obviously been around the Irish senior squad from time to time as well. So he has a little bit of experience behind him, but he didn't look nervous. When you go back to when you made your debut, were you nervous when you started out at Manchester United?
Well, I think everybody's nervous, Nathan. It depends what type of nervousness you have.
Yeah.
You know, like I've seen lads who weren't able for the nervous and they're shaking.
Right.
But the nervousness, the ideal nervousness is obviously because it's a big match, it's a big day, you're going to be nervous, but those nerves are under control. And my feeling on lads who are getting into the teams not on a regular basis, but particularly your first one, I think that's what you're alluding to now. When I played my first match, I was looking forward to it.
Right.
Of course I'd be nervous, but nervousness, you have to have the nerves, that sort of nervousness, Nathan. You know, to get you going, you're up there. But my feelings on players that I knew that wanted to play, who are going to be players, they had a certain amount of show-offness, if that's the right word, in it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You knew you were good. You wouldn't be there if you weren't good enough in these particular clubs to get out there and show everybody how good I am. Not in a big-headed way. You know, the ideal way, because if you're going out there shaking, you wouldn't be in that position in the first place, Nathan.
Yeah.
You know, you don't suddenly get into now I'm talking about my time at Manchester United, when I made my first appearance. You know, I was only 18, short of 19 at the time, but I was nervous in the right way, because if you're shaking nerves, you wouldn't be there in the first place. Because at Manchester United, for example, I had to go through the youth team, the Youth Cup team, which was a big thing. Yeah. You had to go through the reserves. Now, if you're going to show your nerves, you're going to show them in those matches. So you wouldn't make it to the first team, Nathan.
Is there not something different when you're making your Manchester United debut, like Bobby Charlton is probably playing that day, is there not a nervousness of walking out and the pressure of playing with players of that calibre and feeling the need to show them that you belong there?
Well, I didn't feel that way,
right.
Nathan. You know, obviously I'd be nervous because I'd want to do well. But I think at that stage, you know, when I play in the Youth Cup for Manchester, that's the reserves, which is very high standard. and you've come through schoolboy football as well. So in my opinion, there's a certain attitude of showing off. In other words, I want to get out there.
Right.
I know Bobby Charlton is playing, he's a great player. Dennis Voilet, you respect all these players. But you really want to show what you can do.
Yeah.
Not in a big-headed sense, because obviously the night before, the morning you make up, always after my last match, you'd be in, you'd be away with the fairies when you woke up on Saturday morning, because that's all a build-up to playing. You see, I think playing football at a certain level, Nathan, is not natural. You don't just put on your boots and play. There's a build-up to it. I used to find from Saturday morning, I'd wake up and there'd be a certain nervousness about me. I'd be away with the fairies. My head wouldn't be having a bit of breakfast. I'd be away with it. So by the time you're ready to go out on the pitch, your nerves have been built up. You need the nerves. If you don't have nerves before a match, you won't build up. You won't get the adrenaline that you need when you go out to play. Like I always felt that football at a certain level is not natural. It's like a top singer, an opera singer, or Frank Sinatra going out on the stage. There's no way he just starts singing. There has to be a build-up to it. Anything that you do, whether it be a tennis player or a rugby player, a Gaelic player, hurling player, there's a build-up to that situation, which as long as it's under control, Nathan, gives you the adrenaline to go and to cope with the situation and do your stuff.
And when you say when you woke up on a Saturday morning and you're away with the fairies, do you mean you're there, you're daydreaming, you're imagining what might happen in the match? Are you thinking about the game? Well,
you're not quite thinking about it as detailed as that, but you're not there either.
Right.
You know the match is on your mind. It's not in detail. You don't think, well, I have to do this and I have to do that. But say at 9 o'clock in the morning, there's a match on today. Because you wouldn't be human if you didn't know there was a match on, Nathan. So now you have to handle it from then on. So as you get through the morning, then the nerves build up. So as you're out of a nervous state, which is ideal, by the time you're going out on the pitch to play.
Mm. And would you have seen...
You don't just put your boots on. You don't just put your boots on and say, I'm going out to play today. But there is a nervousness. You're playing in front of 50,000. In the cup final, you're playing in front of 100,000 people. But there's a bit of show-offness in you as well, Nate, because you want to show the 100,000 people how good you are, But you're also aware of the downfall if you're not going to be good.
Right,
that's
so
a big thing as well.
You were looking at... I was wondering that. So were you relentlessly positive in those hours building up of, I'm going to play in front of 50, 100,000 people, think of all that can go right for me today and how I could end up as the hero today, or as part of you going,
no,
I don't want to fall flat?
It's the other way, Nathan.
Right, it's the fear of failure.
Yes. Yeah,
right.
You don't think I'm going to go out, I'm going to go and do this. No, you're thinking, I've got to do my stuff today.
Yeah.
First of all, you've got to help the team to win, but you're playing in front of 100,000 people. But there's an excitement to it as well. There's a mixture. There's a mixture. As I say, you don't say, oh, God, I've got to play in front of 100,000 today. Your main thing is positive. I want to play in it, because that's what I felt anyway. I think most lads will feel the same. When you're a kid... I used to support Manchester United. They won the cup in 1948. Jackie Carey, the great Irish player, the manager. I want to do that. I want to play in those matches. I want to play at the cup final. But you're also aware, I've got to do my stuff. Yeah. I don't want to have a nightmare today and turn it the other way round. But you have to know, you have to be confident of your ability as well, Nathan.
And did you see the lads you're talking about there who... could be in the dressing room shaking beforehand with the nerves? Did you often see players who were like that in the dressing room in the minutes leading up to the game, but actually, when the whistle blew and the match started, they were perfectly fine?
No.
Right.
No. If they're not doing it in the dressing room, you're a goner. I did play with a few players like that. Right. But they didn't last.
Okay. Yeah.
But there was a couple. Now we played in the cup final in 1965. Against Liverpool, the first great Liverpool team, and we qualified. We'd only first year in the first division, and qualified. And there was a couple of lads in the team, I won't name them, who weren't up to it.
Right. We can Google in this day and age, John. So people can go and figure it out from themselves. And you could just tell that cup final day was too much for them.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do at that stage, or the senior members of the squad at that stage can do to Just try and calm those players?
No, they wouldn't be excited.
Right.
They'd be quiet. They would look quite natural. They would look quite natural, Nathan. You wouldn't know before the match. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But you could tell. And I used to find, watching the cup finals and playing the cup finals, there was at least one player on the pitch that couldn't handle it from either side.
Right.
Either side.
Are you looking round for that player?
Not particularly.
Right.
Well, especially when he's on your side. But it happens, you know.
Yeah. While we're talking about that, do you remember your debut then? Do you remember the day vividly that you made your Manchester United debut?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I remember it well, Nathan. I knew from the day before. Actually, we played the Wednesday in the Central League team. That was the reserve team at Leeds, funny enough. And we won 8-4
right.
on the night. And I scored 3, which I had one of those good nights. And in those days, there was a player called Albert Quicksall. They paid a record fee for it. Wasn't well. Or he was injured. So I knew on the Friday morning, Sir Matt Busby told me on Friday morning, I'd be playing on the Saturday.
Okay.
So I knew.
So you had time to prep for it.
Yeah. So the Friday, I remember the Friday, I slept okay.
Yeah.
And I was okay on the Saturday. I mean, it was a bad day in the end. We were beaten 5-1 by a great Spurs team coming on to their best years, with Danny Blanchflower and Cliff Jones and
Dave Mackay.
Dave Mackay, one of the greats.
So was Dave Mackay playing middle of midfield or centre back for Spurs?
Oh no, he was playing in midfield.
So you're going up against Dave Mackay in your debut?
Yeah, and Danny Blanchflower. They funny enough that was Dave Mackay just come down from Scotland.
Yeah.
At that season, and they should have won the league that year. That was 1959. They should have won it. They blew it, and the following year then they won the double.
Yeah.
But
so
they were great. Dave Mackay was one of the greats.
Yeah.
One of the greats.
So did your family get to come over for your debut?
My father came over.
Right.
Yeah, father came over.
Would you have come over to a lot of your games?
No.
Right.
No, it wasn't that easy to travel in those days, Nathan. He came over now and again.
And what would he say after a game like that, after you made your Manchester United debut?
No, he said I did okay. He thought I did okay. You know, I mean, I wasn't responsible for the 5 goals, obviously, but no, I did okay, Nathan, on the day. You know, I didn't have a nightmare, and I did okay, but we were just outclassed as a team with this great Spurs team at that particular time.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed the day. You know, I enjoyed it because I knew I wasn't too nervous. I was okay. I was able to handle it. There was 60,000 at the match, and I was okay. Yeah. So I actually didn't enjoy the result, of course, but I enjoyed the day.
Yeah, it's great. And great to have such good memories of it as well. We've gone off, as usual, John, on a tangent. I do want to take a quick break because we do want to talk about the current Manchester United and the current Spurs. So we'll just take a quick break and do that then.
Football on Off the Ball
with Paddy Power. New normal, same old football. Paddy Power. Gamble responsibly. Gamblingcare.ie.
Look for local this Christmas. It's up to us. To feature your business on The Pat Kenny Show, email us at patkenny@newstalk.com. With thanks to the local enterprise offices.
At Smith's Toys Superstores, we're open late. With stores now open late, Monday to Friday until 11 p.m. So you can beat the queues and pick up everything you need. We're open late until 11 p.m. from Monday to Friday, right up to the 23rd of December. And we also have home delivery and click and collect still available. Smith's Toys Superstores, now open until 11 p.m. Selected stores only.
Looking for professional tools and safety supplies? Then you need CoalfieldIndustrial.com, one of Ireland's largest Irish-owned suppliers with over 50,000 items in stock. CoalfieldIndustrial.com offers quality tools, safety gear and equipment from all the top brands like DeWalt, Snickers, Bosch, Stanley, Baco and more. So whether you're a professional tradesman or a DIY enthusiast, shop online at CoalfieldIndustrial.com.
Follow the leader. The Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV, the world's best-selling plug-in hybrid, is now available with 0% finance and a free home charge point worth €800. Leading the charge in plug-in hybrid technology, the Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV. Book a test drive at your local dealer today. Mitsubishi. Drive your ambition. Terms and conditions apply. See mitsubishimotors.ie. Lending criteria applies. This is a hire purchase agreement provided by Bank of Ireland Finance.
Body pain can affect your whole day. But Nurofen medicated plasters provide up to 24-hour effective pain relief to help you keep doing this, or even this. Nurofen 200mg medicated plasters contain ibuprofen for the short-term symptomatic treatment of local pain in acute muscular strains or sprains. Always read the label. Available in packs of 2 or 4 plasters. Please talk to a healthcare professional before returning to physical activity.
Give the gift of choice this Christmas with a postable one-for-all gift card that supports Irish retail. Accepted in over 11,000 retail outlets nationwide and online, the one-for-all gift card is the perfect gift for loved ones. Pick up a one-for-all at your local post office and make Christmas shopping easier this year. The one-for-all gift card is issued by GVS Prepaid Europe Limited. GVS Prepaid Europe Limited is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland.
You know it's Christmas when the limited edition festive 5-ounce is back at Supermax. Made with fresh, never frozen, 100% prime Irish beef and cooked to order. Topped with caramelised onions and mushroom, melted cheese and creamy peppercorn mayo in a freshly baked Kaiser bun. The festive 5-ounce at Supermax. The freshness is in the taste.
Give a 5-star gift this Christmas. Give the gift of Castlemartyr Resort. Whether it's a luxurious spa day, golf experience, afternoon tea or breakaway, we'll make it memorable and you'll make their Christmas. Buy online now at castlemartyrresort.ie.
Football on Off the Ball.
With Paddy Power. Minimal contact in stadiums shouldn't stop the usual suspects from going down. Gamble responsibly. Gamblingcare.ie.
You're welcome back. John Giles is with us. We have a text in from Bobby and Claire as we talk about Manchester United. Ask away about all his future. Top of the hardest Champions League group by a mile heading into game week 6 and 5 points off the top of the league with a game in hand. But let's keep pushing that agenda. John, Manchester United beaten last night, but as Bobby and Claire says, if you look at the league table and you look at the Champions League table, they're not actually in that bad a position. But should United fans be worried about what they're seeing?
Well, I wouldn't be overjoyed about how they're going at the moment, Nathan. I mean, if you're talking about those positions and positions they're in, I mean, this is Manchester United we're talking about. You know, this is where we expect Manchester United to be doing better than anybody else. I'm sure the supporters do. No, I wouldn't be that happy as a Manchester United supporter for the results that they've had at the moment, Nathan. Very, very inconsistent. I mean, the fact is that, you know, there's none of the teams like Liverpool doing what they did last year and City doing the certain seasons. If that was the case now, you know, they'd be 8 or 10 points behind. It's just a season that's in it. There's nobody really running away with it at the moment. But I mean, you don't compare yourself with other teams. You do what you do. You concentrate on what your team is doing themselves, Nathan. And they're very, very inconsistent.
Yeah. The big talking point out of last night's defeat was Fred getting sent off and the fact that, well, maybe he should have been sent off in the first half, and it felt like a ticking time bomb that eventually he was going to get a second yellow card. And should Ole Gunnar Solskjaer have taken him off earlier? Was it just terrible management that he left him on the pitch, almost felt waiting for the inevitable? Should he have done something different?
I don't think so.
Right.
I wouldn't have taken him off because he got away with it, you know, and then you'd expect a player to learn from that. Actually, I think in the second half he was actually unlucky to be sent off in the incident that he was involved in. And I think it was the referee. I think the referee knew he made a mistake early on. So I would say it was okay to leave him on at that particular stage. I mean, he made a mistake. There's no doubt, Fred. He should have been off. But I think he was unlucky actually to be sent off in the incident that he was involved in.
Yeah, right. The other, I guess, talking point around United from the last week is Edinson Cavani. Came off the bench, set up one, scored the 2 goals as they turned it around against Southampton. Looked really good again last night when he was on the pitch. And United started the season, it felt, with a settled front three of Greenwood, Rashford and Martial, and expected lots of goals from the three of them. Hasn't happened for various reasons so far. From what you've seen of Cavani, is he now a first choice in that United 11?
I think so. I think they needed somebody like him up front. I don't think Rashford and Martial are the type of players who lead the line, Nathan. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're good players, but they're not like target men or headers of the ball and as aggressive as Cavani is. I think Cavani is a natural centre forward and has proven himself over the year. I wouldn't say I was delighted when Manchester United signed him, because I thought with 33 they should be doing better than that. But he has been a great player, and the last couple of matches for Manchester United, he's been certainly one of the best players. There's no doubt about that.
Big game at the weekend, the North London derby, Arsenal against Spurs. Spurs 3-3 tonight against Lask in the Europa League. The job Mourinho's done. They're top of the Premier League table right now. He seems, despite all the criticisms when he first came in about his relationship and what he was trying to do with Harry Kane, seems to be getting the very best out of Harry Kane, the best out of Heung-min Son. Is any of this taking you by surprise, how Mourinho's been able to turn it round and get Spurs to this level again?
Well, he's done it before, Nathan. You know, he's done it time after time. He didn't do it at Manchester United, but all the other clubs, he made a huge success of it. And I don't think you lose it. You know, I think since he's gone into Spurs, for example, I mean, Dele Alli is not getting a game at all. I don't think he'll put up with anybody that's not really doing their stuff or behaving in the right way. I think at Manchester United he made a mistake with Pogba. He did try to get a grip of him when it was too late, Nathan. I think I think when Manchester United Pogba, he described him as a world-class midfield player. Yeah. I don't think he ever believed that,
right,
to be honest. I think there might have been some sort of politics going on there where he had to back the man who was buying Pogba for 90 million. I never ever believed that Mourinho thought Pogba was a world-class player, to be honest. And I think he paid the price for that when he was at Manchester United for a while. But he has made a difference to Spurs. I mean, Dele Alli is a very, very talented player, but if he's not behaving in the right way, and I don't think he has behaved in the right way, then he's out. So he's done a good job with them over the 12 months. There's no doubt about that. I don't think they're good enough to win the league, myself, Nathan, but they're certainly better than when he took them over, and that's all a manager can do. It just depends how much better he can make them.
Yeah, and we have that game live here on Off the Ball this coming Sunday, the North London derby from 4:30. John, unfortunately, we're out of time once again. We'll reflect on that game next Thursday night, and we'll talk to you then. Thanks as always.
Okay, Nathan. I'll speak to you then.
John Giles there. If you missed any of that, it'll all be up as a podcast, and you can subscribe as always. As I mentioned, Spurs 3-3 in Group J of the Europa League away against Lask. That one is over. Spurs, I think, are through to the knockout stage with that. Leicester already through, beaten 1-0 by Zorya, and Celtic are out. Having gone 2-0 up early on against AC Milan, they ended up losing that game by 4-2. Dundalk just about to get underway against Molde. We'll keep you up to date with that throughout the evening. Up next, we are getting part one of our Super Value All-Ireland Football Semi-Final Preview Show. Joe Malloy and Kieran Donaghy in the company of some legends coming your way over the coming days, starting with two Tipperary legends, Declan Brown and Pat Short. That's coming away right after the news at 8.
Football on Off the Ball
with Paddy Power. New normal, same old football. Paddy Power. Gamble responsibly. GamblingCare.ie.